All right. Renee C723 says, how is the adjustment for you two after the single life? You know, sharing a space, agreeing on food, etc.
It's been okay.
We were single for a long time, and
forever.
and
for me.
and not having lived with someone for a long time, even roommates or whatever. So
I barely had roommates most of my adult life. So
yeah. So how is it having someone to share the bathroom with?
it's okay. It's just a little bit bigger. Wouldn't mind having two sometimes.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Yeah.
No, it's pretty good. I think one of the things that's great about it, what I love about you, is that we're just really pretty compatible. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you get pissed at me sometimes and don't tell me, but I don't notice it.
We're both pretty easygoing people. I think that's something that's nice about us. So.
Finish my tea. Put that right here. You can edit this out, right? Yeah, awkward. Or wait for continuity. I have to keep holding it, right?
No, you can set it down.
Okay.
Do you want mine?
What is it?
It's more tea. Whiskey. I made him that mug.
This mug.
Yeah, for Valentine's Day. Yep. All right.
Is that water? It's really diluted.
It's diluted. Grace Medeiros said, my question is, what stood out to Daniel about you when he first met you?
You're fun. You're funny. Easy going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the personality. Right off.
Maybe the blonde hair. I'm trying to think when we first very met, because it's meeting online.
At Denny's.
We met at Denny's. That was my idea because I had done some dating in 2014, and I found that meeting someone at a restaurant for the very first meeting, you know, if you don't really like them, then you're kind of stuck there with them and it's awkward and you're trying to eat in front of someone, which can be uncomfortable. So that was always my no-go for a first meeting. But we were both getting off at 5:30 and I knew we were going to need to eat dinner. And so I was thinking, well, what's like a really casual place? So I suggested Denny's, and then I made a joke about, and we can, you know, make up stories about all the travelers. Although, I mean, there was only, I think, one other elderly couple there.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there for a couple hours, I feel like. And so I walked in, and he was sitting on the bench, and he puts out his hand and introduces himself by his full name, and I was just like already going in for the hug. I'm Jenny! Hug! Like, so that was how we started. Yes. Okay, so Judy Wheeler says, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Living in the future.
So you'll be 45, almost 46?
Pass.
Too much.
Too much.
Talia says, are the sugar-free desserts...
I'll be traveling in tubes or on my hoverboard.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the first cell phone implanted in my forehead.
Yes. Talia says, are the sugar-free desserts a trigger for you at all? Any tips or suggestions for people with type 2 diabetes?
I don't know what a trigger exactly means.
So trigger means that it makes you want to eat more, or like if I have a, you know, obsession, something makes me think of wanting a Three Musketeers, and then I can't get out of my head, and I really want one, and I'm thinking about the taste and buying one. So trigger is just something that makes you think of something that you're really craving.
It's hard to think of the dessert as a trigger because I'm just eating it then, you know. But there are times when I kind of pig out a little bit on it, a little bit much, you know, when you eat half your mousse and you hand me the rest, and I probably eat too much. It's not so much, I don't think it's quite as unhealthy, it's just like uncomfortable, because it's a low, no calorie based, no, it's like a no sugar low carb
Very
type
low
of
carb,
thing.
yeah.
So it's not as terrible, but you definitely feel eating it too much on your stomach.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. It's my mom's text. Hi, Mom. In your own video, you're gonna be able to refer back to this.
Well, and so if you're, say, eating some of the sugar-free chocolate that I make, does that make you think of like a non-sugar-free brownie, and then it makes you think of the brownie? Or
No,
I
not
mean, yeah.
really. That's pretty just separate. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty amazed at like, oh, this tastes almost like a full sugary treat,
Yeah.
but it doesn't give you that kind of insulin dump
Yeah.
that you kind of goes along with eating too much of it.
Yeah. And then any tips or suggestions for people with type 2 diabetes?
I'd say when you're first getting started or you first find out that you have type 2 diabetes, ignore anybody who tells you to skip fats or worry about eating too much bacon. It's really about just cutting out the carbs and lowering your insulin response to things, and carbs are what does it. And then you'd be surprised. You can start, you can eat a low glycemic, but sometimes you just have to realize that some foods, even though they don't have a huge high carb content, are just going to turn to sugar real fast. And there's some foods you just need to give up on. Don't pretend that like, oh, I can have a small bit of rice or something. Just don't eat rice anymore. Just say no to potatoes. And you find that's like some of those foods are really easy to get rid of because they're just kind of a filler that you would just eat. A lot of those carbs are just kind of like, oh, this tastes really good. That first bite was great. And then every bite after that just kind of tastes the same bland thing. There's a lot of foods like that you can actually give up pretty easily. You don't have them for a while, So the one thing, though, is that, everybody has this feeling that you have to avoid fats. You don't really worry about that at first. If you need to, it's a good way to replace those cravings you had for carbs is fill up on kind of fatty, creamy foods. It's going to help you get through that first part. Because you do go for withdrawal for sure. I mean, the first time I did it, I had no idea what I was doing, and I kind of starved a little bit for the first week until I started replacing. But I did drop about 15 pounds in my first week, and then about 30 pounds over the next couple of months. Haven't quite maintained it, gone up and down, but let's see.
Well, and just a disclaimer, I mean, we're talking about a meal plan for people with type 2 diabetes. So if you don't have type 2 diabetes, you can eat potatoes or rice. I mean, that's part of a healthy meal plan for some people, just not
There's some people,
not
but
us.
yeah,
I mean,
you just eat in small portions, and you don't want to do it every day for sure.
Yeah.
And one other thing that's good is definitely some exercise, but a lot of people think that it has to be something that you do for a half an hour and get real crazy. You can do some of that exercises you can do pretty short but just high intensity stuff. Look up interval training. I think that's one of the best, most effective ones if you just don't have a lot of time. And even walking, you don't have to get out there and start running right away. Just work your way up to something. You feel better. And interval training is one of those things where you just kind of walk a ways and then jog for a minute, or run as fast as you can for a minute, and then just kind of recover. And you fight through that part where you feel like you're kind of die, and then eventually you just don't even feel that anymore. And that's real helpful in just general life stuff, actually. Just being able to sprint up some stairs and not worry about that recovery part.
Yeah.
And it helps out the blood sugar response a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So Anita Tucker Owen says, Daniel, please tell Jenny to keep the videos coming.
Jenny, please keep the videos coming.
Actually, he has done a really good job at encouraging me to do videos. When I was, for whatever reason, I don't even know, I just wasn't feeling inspired to make videos. And him and I had went to the bookstore, and the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook had just came out, and I was looking through it. We were sitting next to each other, and I was looking through it, and I was like, this inspires me so much. And then I said I could do videos on cooking these recipes, and then you could try them. And we talked about if he ever wanted to be on camera, and I feel like early on you were like, absolutely not, never.
Yeah, nah.
Not
I'll
interested.
just be the hand in the background that hands you something.
Right.
Disembodied voice. Good job. I think I was on one of the early videos before anybody even knew I was here, just like in the background, like, that's a spicy meatball! Somewhere in the background, one of those things. I think she made the meatballs video. You might hear me just in the background that was not even commented on.
Yeah.
That's about as most I ever thought I would do.
Yeah. So what changed your mind?
I don't know. Makes you happy.
Yeah.
Plus, I hear all these comments. People seem to kind of like me. I think you're giving you a ratings bump,
He has given me a ratings bump, for sure. All right.
Nobody looks at my 2 videos on my YouTube channel.
He has a YouTube channel. I don't know if we want to link it yet or not, but
There's nothing on there. It's just 2 pictures. Things I filmed with my iPod while exploring far eastern Oregon.
but we've talked about him wanting to film videos of guy stuff that he's interested in.
Sure.
He watches a lot of YouTube. I mean, as we both do, but
I watch a lot of YouTube.
different hobbies, and he could probably do his own reviews on his newest knife that he got or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Daniel and his mom both are big thrift store shoppers. As I'd say, as a hobby,
We
probably.
should do thrift store hauls.
We could do thrift
We
store
should just
hauls.
not go for a long time, and then like once every other month or so, just do them all at once. And then come back, look what I got!
So if you're interested in thrift store hauls, please leave a comment below. I don't seem to buy much at thrift stores, but I like looking.
Well, I think I enjoy thrift stores a lot because I know a lot about clothing, how it's made, and what's good and what's not, and what's rare. So sometimes I'll find something and I'll just have an automatic idea like, that is an $80 shirt at $40.
REI, right?
I'm just gonna get that, and that brand's significantly better. And look, and because I can repair stuff too, I can find something and go, look, that is an amazing thing with a small tear in it, and nobody's gonna buy it. And I'd be like, oh, I can just repair that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not too afraid of being able to wash clothes that people freak out about. Mm-hmm. That's one of the challenges of living with Jenny is she is a germaphobe, and I am not. I will eat food off the floor. 10-20 minute rule. She doesn't touch me after I touch stuff on the floor. It's true. I have to get home and wash my hands.
I don't know what to say, but it's true. I'm not saying it's right. It's gotten better, but I mean, I've struggled with OCD stuff since I was a kid. I mean, pretty much high school. I don't mean it was before high school,
Have you
but
made any videos about that?
I haven't made any videos talking about that. And it comes and goes for me. I mean, it goes in waves. I think I've had moments living with him where I was more OCD than others. I feel...
Have you had moments living with me where you're just like, it's so gross, I'm gonna barf?
I don't barf ever. I like suffocate.
An anxiety thing?
Yeah.
And like giving you panic
It
attacks
gets,
by
yeah.
doing stuff?
It like is all right in here. I feel like I'm gonna choke.
And I've done that to you.
Well, not you specifically. I guess just things in general do that. Yeah.
Things that I've done have done that.
No.
But that's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. So, but that may be a good idea, is to do a video on it in the future, because I definitely have had multiple OCD things that have happened, and so.
I don't really have OCD things.
I don't think you have much anxiety in general.
I don't worry about stuff.
Well, yeah, but maybe you don't act out on it.
No, it's very internalized.
Yeah. Whereas
Super introvert. It's me.
Yeah.
Extrovert.
Who?
It's you.
Huh? Who are you pointing at?
This lady.
All right, so we've got Nicole Piro did quite a few, so I'm just going to read them one at a time. How and when did you meet? So we said the how.
Did it. Done. Go on.
Well,
Lightning round. Let's go fast. This is becoming a long video.
When did we meet? We met first date January 20th?
January 20th at Denny's.
2015. Okay. What type of work you do? We already said we aren't going to answer that.
That's not interesting.
When did Jenny tell you about her YouTube channel? We answered that.
The first date.
Did it freak you out? We kind of talked about that.
Yeah, I did a little. Just a little bit.
Did you ever watch any of my videos?
I really don't watch your videos.
Yeah.
Just because I know you,
Well, that was something...
And then, I'm there for some of them, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was something that I told him early on, that I didn't really want him to watch my videos because I wanted him to get to know me for me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But it is kind of nice, you know, when people like, oh, tell me about your girlfriend. I don't have to. Why don't you watch her channel? Don't be lazy. Support her, please.
Oh gosh.
You can just watch her and learn. She does some great videos. Hey, by the way, would you like to know some low carb dessert recipes? Just watch her video.
Yeah. Well, what's funny, didn't you say you felt like your mom knew more about me than you did?
Yeah,
first?
she was watching. Hi, Mom. You were watching her videos and tell me about it. And like, I didn't watch that video. I don't know what you're talking about, but you know, thanks for supporting her.
Yeah. Okay.
She lives in another city, so she didn't get to hang out around Jenny as much, even though.
We've met now.
Even though she's hung out around you more than anybody else in my family has, and she loves you. Just like you love her.
Yes.